Good day, everyone. Today we are going to learn about freedom and the different concepts or school of thoughts related to freedom. First, let us define what freedom is. Freedom was defined as the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint, and it is also the ability to make choices and perform actions, thus making him accountable for these choices and actions. Ibig sabihin, yung freedom, ito yung nagbibigay sa atin ng kapangyarihan na maisip, magawa, or masabi natin lahat ng gusto natin gawin, sabihin, or isipin nang walang humahadlang na kahit ano. At sinasabi na kapag ka nagkaroon tayo ng mga choices and actions, nagiging accountable daw tayo dun sa lahat ng results ng choices and actions natin. May tinatawag din tayong free will, which is the mental ability to make choices and do actions to carry out these choices. Meron tayong 5 types of freedom: the political freedom, freedom of religion, individual freedom, economic freedom, and academic freedom. When we say political freedom, sinasabi dito na it is the freedom from foreign domination which empowers a nation to form the government of its own people to govern them independently. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka sinabi nating political freedom, it is like the concept of sovereignty na parang we are not under any domination sa ibang bansa. So, knowing the history of the Philippines, so tayo nakalaya and nakuha natin yung sovereignty sa Spaniards and sa Americans. And doon nagsimula yung pagkakaroon natin ng political freedom na kung saan nagkaroon tayo ng sarili nating government and we are the ones deciding for our country. The next one is the freedom of religion. It means that an individual is free to practice, profess, or propagate any religious rites according to his religion. Yung freedom of religion, it's like the concept of religious tolerance na isinagawa nung history, sa history ng daigdig, sa world history, na kung saan, yung sa early civilizations, so merong mga pinuno doon na parang nag-practice ng religious tolerance, na kung saan, hinayaan nila ang mga tao na makapili ng sarili ng religion and sumamba sa kahit anong Diyos ang gusto nilang sambahin. That's the freedom of religion, which is also in our Constitution. Dun sa ating Article 3, Section 5, sinasabi that the free exercise and enjoyment of religious profession and worship without discrimination or preference shall forever be allowed. So, yun. Kaya meron tayong iba't ibang types ng religion dito sa Philippines, and our main religions here are the Christianity and the Islam. Kapag naman sinabi nating individual freedom, these are the type of freedom which are necessary for an individual to improve and develop himself. Ibig sabihin, ito yung kalayaan ng bawat individual na gawin kung ano man yung gusto niyang gawin para sa kanyang ikasasaya nang walang humahadlang sa kanya. The next one is the economic freedom. Sinasabi na ito ang pinaka-importanteng aspect ng freedom kasi when we say economic freedom, it is the one allowing individual or groups to pursue different economic activities para ma-allocate lahat ng resources para sa kanilang mga pangangailangan. Kasi isa sa mga kailangan natin mga tao, for example, is yung pagkain. So itong economic freedom, ito yung bibigay sa atin ng kalayaan na makuha natin or ma-allocate natin yung resources natin para makamit natin lahat ng needs and wants natin. And the last one is the academic freedom. It is a constitutional right. Ibig sabihin, ito ay ibinigay sa atin ng Constitution. Sabi, ang academic freedom daw is the freedom of teachers and students to teach, study, and pursue knowledge and research without unreasonable interference or restriction from law, institutional regulations, or public pressure. So, dito may kalayaan daw yung mga teachers at students para sa research and sa studies. So, dito, binibigyan ito ng freedom ang mga teachers to inquire into any subject that evokes their intellectual concern. Ibig sabihin, pwede nilang binibigyan ng teacher ng power na maituro kung ano man yung subject na gusto niyang ituro or pag-aralan kung ano man yung gusto niyang pag-aralan. And para ma-publish nila yung kanilang data and conclusions without control or censorship. Para naman sa mga students, the basic elements include the freedom to study subjects that concern them and to form conclusions for themselves and express their opinions. So, yun. Kaya nga merong freedom yung mga estudyante to choose what strand yung gusto nilang piliin and what courses ang gusto nilang i-take sa kanilang college. Now, let's discuss the different school of thoughts that discusses the different concepts about freedom. So, dito sa different school of thoughts na to, ang kailangan nating i-identify is kung meron ba talagang free will tayong mga tao and kung meron ba talagang determinism na nag-e-exist. So, first, let's discuss the concept of determinism. This asserts that all events that happen in the world are caused by previous events or conditions along with the laws of nature. And this believes that a determinate set of conditions can only produce one possible outcome given fixed laws of nature. Ibig sabihin, ang determinism, sinasabi nito na lahat ng nangyayari dito sa mundo ay merong causes or merong mga bagay ang nagkokos para mangyari ang lahat ng bagay. And dito, yung isang outcome, meron tayong isang set of conditions na nakakapag-produce ng outcome na yon. So para mas maintindihan natin siya, let's discuss two concepts, the universal causation and the causal necessity. Sa universal causation, sinasabi dito that every event or everything that happens or occurs has a cause. So dito, kahit na hindi natin ma-identify kung ano yung nag-cause sa isang bagay para siya mag-exist, hindi natin hinahayaan na basta lang nangyari yung isang bagay. Alam natin na merong cause yun or meron siya naging sanhi even though hindi natin alam kung ano yung cause na yun. And yung causal necessity naman, sinasabi dito that given the total set of conditions under which the cause occurs, only one effect is possible. So, ibig sabihin, for every cause, there is one effect na pwedeng mangyari. So, hindi pwede na yung isang effect ay marami siyang pinagmumulan or marami siyang causes. So, for each cause, there is always one effect that is possible to happen. And the same cause will operate in the same way on different occasions. Okay, let's have an example. Halimbawa, you throw a rock up onto the air. So, there is only one possible effect na pwedeng mangyari or expected outcome natin, which is papatak lang yung bato sa lupa. Unless there are several factors na mangyayari or may ibang events na nangyari. For example, hindi siya diretso yung pagkakahagis natin pataas. For example, is paslan, pwede siyang magpatak sa bubong ng bahay. And that is already on a different occasion. But as long as diretso lang yung pagkahagis natin, there is only one effect that is expected to happen. Napapatak lang siya direct. Let us take note the difference between determinism and fatalism. Kapag sinabi natin kasing fatalism, parang everything that is happening is in our surroundings is already destined. So parang naka-destiny na ang lahat ng mangyayari sa atin. So yung determinism kasi dito sinasabi lang na merong cause sa lahat ng effect or sa lahat ng bagay, but yung fatalism sinasabi dito na predetermined na daw ang buhay ng tao. So parang meron na tayong destiny and it is all planned by God. Yun ang sinasabi sa fatalism. Ang example natin ng fatalism is yung nangyari kay Oedipus. Doon sa story ni Oedipus kasi, parang nung pinanganak siya, parang hinulaan na agad siya na parang ang magiging fate niya or yung kapalaran niya is mapapatay niya yung tatay niya and mapapangasawa niya yung nanay niya. Nung nalaman to ng parents niya, especially nung kanyang father, dinala agad itong si Oedipus sa gubat, itinapon siya doon at inakala nung tatay niya na mamamatay na si Oedipus. Hanggang sa isang araw, may nakakita kay Oedipus at sila yung parang nag-adapt sa kanya at sila yung nagpalaki sa kanya. One day, naglalakbay itong si Oedipus dun sa gubat and then may nakasalubong siyang isang grupo ng tao and unknowingly, yun yung tatay niya. And pinatay ni Oedipus itong nakasalubong niya kasi hindi niya nga kilala. So pinatay niya yon and then nag-travel itong si Oedipus hanggang sa makarating siya sa isang parang sa isang kaharian like that. And then parang doon nakilala niya yung isang maganda babae at pinakasalan niya agad yon. Unknowingly, yung pinakasalan niya yon pala is yung nanay niya. So parang yun yung sa fatalism na parang identified na agad or predetermined na yung magiging buhay mo. Determinism naman, sinasabi lang dito that everything has its cause and effect. So yun yung difference dun sa dalawa. And dito sa determinism, meron tayong tatlong school of thoughts na ipinakilala ang mga philosophers. It is the hard determinism, libertarianism, and compatibilism. Kapag ka sinabi nating compatibilism, ibig sabihin, yung determinism at saka yung free will ay parehas na nag-e-exist. Kapag ka sinabi nating hard determinism and libertarianism, ito ay incompatibilism or hindi pwedeng mag-exist ng sabay yung free will at saka yung determinism. Now, let's discuss the difference between these three. Dun sa hard determinism, sinasabi dito that free will is not compatible with determinism. Ibig sabihin, determinism is true, therefore we do not have free will. Sa libertarianism naman, meron daw tayong free will and it is not compatible with determinism, therefore determinism is false. And for compatibilism naman, determinism is true, free will exists, and there is no tension between these claims. Ngayon, isa-isahin natin tong school of thoughts na ito. Kapag ka sinabi nating hard determinism, yun nga, free will is not compatible with determinism. Determinism is true, ibig sabihin, may nangyayari talagang universal causation or causal necessity. Meron tayong cause and effect. Therefore, we do not have free will. So, sinasabi dito na dahil meron daw determinism, parang meron na tayong cause and effect, ibig sabihin, wala na daw tayong free will kasi lahat daw pala ng gagawin natin, determined na kung ano yung magiging effect niya. And dito sinasabi, yung sa principle of alternate possibilities for freedom, actions done freely or choices made freely could have been otherwise. So, ibig sabihin, meron daw lagi tayong alternate possibilities, na parang nag-decide tayo na gawin yung isang bagay, pero bago tayo nag-decide na gawin yon, meron pa tayong ibang choices na pwede nating gawin. And doon sa choice na napili natin, nag-result siya sa isang outcome, pero yung outcome na yon, pwedeng hindi siya yung naging result nun kung hindi yun yung choice na napili natin. Yun yung sinasabi sa principle of alternate possibilities for freedom. So, determinism is true, therefore, we do not have. So, ito yung nag-negate dito sa ating hard determinism kasi nga sinasabi dito na marami daw talagang possibilities na pwedeng mangyari. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong free will at yung determinism daw ay hindi totoo. Dito sa hard determinism, sinasabi pa that if determinism is true, then our acts are the consequences of the laws of nature and events in the remote past. But it is not up to us what we went on before we were born, and neither it is up to us what the laws of nature are. Therefore, the consequences of these things are not up to us. So now, let's move on to libertarianism naman. So, sinasabi nga dito that we do have free will, and free will is not compatible with determinism, therefore, determinism is false. So, sinasabi dito na wala daw tayong determinism or walang cause and effect at meron tayong free will. Ibig sabihin, tayo yung nagde-determine ng mga actions natin, and yung actions natin, parang we are being accountable dun sa mga nagiging result ng actions natin na napipili natin. Pero yung libertarianism, ito ay inopposed ng different philosophers. Sinasabi nila that if determinism is false, then the events are not subject to chain of cause and effect. Ibig sabihin, yung mga events daw ay nangyayari lang by chance, which is the concept of indeterminism. Kung ang mga events daw ay nangyayari lang by chance, ibig sabihin nito, hindi daw under ng ating control ang lahat na nangyayari. So, paano daw tayo naging free and responsible dun sa mga actions natin? So, yan yung naging opposition natin sa libertarianism. And lastly, punta naman tayo sa compatibilism. Sinasabi dito that determinism is true and free will exists. It believes that freedom and responsibility are in every significant sense compatible with determinism. Thus, there is no conflict between determinism and free will. So, sinasabi naman dito na merong cause and effect ang lahat ng bagay and may free will tayo. Ibig sabihin, nagagawa natin lahat na mga bagay na gusto natin and yung mga decisions natin sa buhay, meron na talaga siyang magiging effect. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong iba't ibang choices, pero pag pinili natin yung bawat choice na yon, meron na siyang isang possible outcome na kalalabasan. Yun yung sinasabi sa compatibilism, kaya meron daw determinism at meron daw tayong free will. So, yun yung concepts na nagdi-discuss about sa concept of freedom.